So I saw something on Loudwire that upset me. Can AC/DC continue? The rumor from Eddie Trunk is that they're done the new album using Malcolm-based riffs, and should they continue? I say they should. AC/DC's been through hell and high water. That's the whole great thing about their story. They started off with Bond, fucking had to fight their way, came out with Highway to Hell, we're about to make it, Bond dies. Oh shit, what do we do now? Oh, we get Brian. Brian makes a huge impact on their vocals, takes them straight to the stratosphere, and now AC/DC's big. They fall off a little bit, come back with the Razor's Edge. Now AC/DC's huge. AC/DC drops Rock or Bust, Malcolm passes away, they still continue to fight. Oh, Brian has to step down, here's Axl. AC/DC's a fighting band, and that's why we connect with them. At least the real fans love them, because that's basically, their songs are the necessities of life, of what you want to do to have fun. I want to drink, I want to have sex, I want to have a good time in rock and roll. Can they continue? Of course they can. And for me personally as a fan, I didn't like seeing Axl in Philly. I was a little biased towards him because of his past reputation of being late, being a jackass, screwing Philadelphia fans over especially. But the thing I really noticed that was upsetting to me was the guitars were off at that Philly date in 2016. Last tour with Cliff. Last tour with Cliff. He's saying he's retired. I felt like he deserved more. I thought there should have been more fans in the seats, but because of Axl, people are like, nah. And just watching, I could hear something wrong with the guitar. And they fixed it after half the show was over. That was upsetting. But listening to a fixed guitar sound, AC/DC sounding like the way they should, and then listening to Axl Rose sing, I finally got it. I was like, you know what? This is acceptable. This is my favorite band, and they came through at the end for me. And that's how I've always felt. AC/DC is a fighting band, and they always just find a way to survive. So for the people that are upset, like, should they continue? Who's going to play with them? This is the way I look at it. Every person they pulled for them to play with, if they're not from the original Back in Black set, or set of people that were playing in the band, they're people that were approved by Malcolm. Stevie Young, he's his nephew, he plays that old style like they do, destroys picks, fucking heavy picks. That's hard. I've done that before, and it's a tough thing to do. I didn't do it on purpose. I was just like, oh, look at that, that'll never happen again. And that was when I used to destroy E strings, low E strings on my guitar. So going back to it, there's Stevie, he can play great rhythm. He's done it. I've seen him twice. Man's on fire. If they get Phil Rudd back, the guy who literally lives this to a T, this motherfucker lives dirty deeds done dirt cheap. He's got stories of hookers on his boat. He tried to kill a dude. He takes this shit too serious, but he's got a great groove, and he's a perfect drummer. Even though he's not as technical as others, great groove for what they're doing. If they get Chrome Dome, Chris Slade, even better. He's a man that just doesn't take it for granted, and if you hear the Razor's Edge, he did a fine job on that too. Who else do we got? If Cliff is truly retired, which I hope isn't the case, the rumor is he retired because he felt Brian got screwed, which I'd agree with. If he's back, he's a great rhythm dude. Listen to Love Hungry Man off a Highway to Hell. That dude kicks it. He just doesn't have enough chances to show off his bass skills, but he's definitely got them. But he anchors them down. He's always been like a calming force for me when I watch AC/DC. Brian Johnson, no questions asked. I'm happy he's back. That's one of the dudes that's really inspiring to me. I was like, shit, look at what he did off of, a chance. They gave him a chance, and he went for it. He took it, and boom, grabbed it by the balls. And Angus, of course. Now, if they get a new singer, Axl, I don't hate Axl. He did a fantastic job. I just don't see him as that dude. I'd rather that they get a random no-name cover artist that sings AC/DC songs that truly loves the band, even if he's not good. There's a dude that looks up to the band. He's getting an opportunity to play with a band he never thought he would, that he idolizes, and he's getting a chance. He's one of us. He's one of the fans. He could easily be me. That's why I think it'd be better to get a no-name. If they don't, then all right, Axl did a decent job. I don't like the way he moved and grooved on stage, but you know what? He's got his thing, and it worked. If they get a new bassist, there's nothing I could say about that. I would rather, again, get a dude that's in a AC/DC tribute band, let it rip. If they get somebody that's even a little famous, let them be competent in AC/DC. Let them be the world's biggest fan. Get Scott Ian, freaking Nikki Sixx. Get somebody that will, even if they're doing some stupid shit on stage, they will play it to a T and know how to play it. AC/DC's definitely got a long road ahead of them. I think even if this is their last tour, which I doubt, because Angus is like 56, he still wants to go. We got people in their 60s, 70s. Look at the Rolling Stones still going at it. Billy Joel's kicking ass. I'm pretty sure he's in his 60s. But the idea is AC/DC embodies what we all want to do, and that's just keep going, keep rocking, having fun, drinking, smoking, sex, just enjoying life to the very best impossibilities of our capabilities. So I don't think AC/DC's done. They definitely can go on, even if it's just Axel. Even if it's just Axel, even if it's just Angus one day and he's by himself. You know what? He's carrying on what that band stood for, and it's been a hell of a ride, and other bands do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Personally, I'm a man that believes AC/DC is at its finest with everyone, but they can go on if it's just one person, and as long as that one person is still, claiming to bear the flag, it'll be accepted, and I'd be okay with that. Some bands can't get away with that, like Van Halen. Y'all need Michael Anthony. I don't care what the hell y'all think. Y'all need Michael Anthony. You truly need Sammy Hagar. I love David Lee Roth. He's a great dude. But, unless he, hey, clean up the singing and timing a little bit. Just be on time when you say shit. Doesn't even have to be the right words like usual. Just be on time. Some bands, you need everybody there. And other bands are just strong enough to continue. AC/DC is an example. Metallica is an example. And there's a couple others. So AC/DC will live on. They'll be all right.